Hello. So, Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 5 finished last week. Um, the fifth and final season. I am very sad that it's over, because it was a very good show. Um, did have a very good final season. The whole series was great, obviously, but yeah, final season was very good. Um, it's nice seeing how much the cast has grown, how much the characters have grown over the past 5 seasons. They have grown. They're more mature, responsible. They've changed, but they're still, their cores. They're still, same to their core. Um, this season had a very cool premise with the dimensional fissures, which was just it made for a nice little through line where pretty much every episode was connected to that plot in some way or another. Each episode sort of intended to stand on its own as well, but with a connection to that larger uh, overall plot. And it made for a solid season. A lot of good episodes. Um, Also, some really fun stuff early on with Tendi still with her family. First, first couple episodes dealing a lot with Tendi's family drama in really fun ways. Um, I did really like the Klingon episode. The Klingon episode was good on its own, but also beautiful opening. they gave that episode sort of its own very cinematic opening that was just weirdly good. Like, just really pretty and really great. Starbase 80 episode was great. The idea of the starbase that nobody wants to go to because it's old and broken down and everyone's weird. Um, yeah, very cool. A very good episode. That was a really fun episode. The sort of highlighted sort of what Starfleet's all about to a certain extent. It's a bunch of it's a starbase run by a bunch of weirdos, but they get it done. They do their jobs. I mean, that's really what the whole series has always been about. Is just why Star Trek is a great franchise. Just really going into exploring what Starfleet is. Yeah, it's not the best ship in the fleet. It's not the best crew in the fleet, but you know they care. They're trying, and they're good. They're a good crew. Some really fun new characters, which only get show up in like one episode. Um, but some really fun new characters added to the crew as well. Um, the a descendant of Zeus, which again, phenomenal callback to an original series episode that featured Apollo. And again, like that's another thing that the series is always great at was just absolute love letters to the franchise and callbacks to things throughout the franchise. Um, so yeah, the episode that as one of the episodes from the first season or from the first series, one of the original season series episodes, featured them finding an alien was who had been worshipped as Apollo. Um, there's another episode that features an alien species seen only in like one or two episodes of the of Enterprise, who view eating as an intimate act that shouldn't be shared with others. Like deep cut. Like that's a deep cut. And the series was just full of has always been full of those. Um, Also, some great cameos as well. Cameos from Brent Spiner voicing Data, an alternate, a Data from another reality where everything's purple, where the Enterprise is purple. We have all like, this random thing to do. And that episode also has a really good exploration of the relationship between Tendi and T'Let. I like their friendship, their science buddies friendship. They're such a fun pairing, and that episode really highlights that. Um, yeah, a few other great episodes. Garrett Wang coming back as Harry Kim. Get cameos from Andrew Robinson as Garrick and Alexander Sig as Bashir. Garrick and Bashir show up. We get a T'Pol appearance. Yeah, some really fun cameos. Um, yeah, it's always such a and I love the final episode just bringing together everything that had built like everything that from throughout the series, from throughout the season. Like just about all like plot points from just about every episode get you know tied back into this one, whether it's characters or Starbase 80 showing up, just a lot of things from throughout this season end up getting payoff in the finale, which it's a great finale. I really like the final episode, um, which ends with like huge status quo shift for everyone. That's never going to be followed up on which makes me sad. It's like it sets up. Yeah, it sets up a really interesting new status quo that's not going to get explored, which is just so sad because it deserves to be explored. We deserve to see more of it. And I'm sad that we won't. Like I said, the series as a whole was always really funny, but also really passionate about what Star Trek is, what it represents. That sense of hope and optimism and adventure and exploration and you know togetherness, people working together for the betterment of everyone and for just learning shit. Just an excitement about learning new shit. I love that. I love when Star Trek is all about the excitement of just gaining knowledge. Not that Deep Space Nine, once it got into the Dominion Warriors stuff, Deep Space Nine sort of had to set that part, that aside, largely set that aside. And, it was great as like a change of pace, as something very different from traditional Star Trek, and I love that about Deep Space Nine. But at its core, yeah, Star Trek is always about just the sheer joy of learning. That is a big part of it. You know, it's why they're out there. It's why we exist. It's like it's what humans do. We just want to find things out. We want to know more. And Star Trek really embraces that, and Lower Decks really embrace that. Even a character uh, like Mariner, she doesn't really seem like the type to be excited about knowledge. She's smart ass. She's rebellious, but I mean, she does often express um, skepticism about some of the missions they have to do. But even she regularly shows just immense excitement at just being able to explore something, at just being able to learn something new, at doing science. Everyone just, Star Trek is just all about science is great, learning is great. I love it. And Lower Decks, like I said, it really understood that. And it really understood the sense of we're all in it together. That cohesiveness. And I'm gonna miss it. I forget what the next Star Trek is going to be. I think the next one might be the next season of Strange New Worlds. I think might be next season for Strange New Worlds, and then I believe Starfleet Academy is in production. So I assume that would be what follows Strange New Worlds. It is kind of a shame. A lot of the Star Trek shows have been wrapping up. Picard wrapped up, Discovery wrapped up, Lower Decks is wrapped up. Um, Not sure if season 3 is going to be the final season for Strange New Worlds. I'm actually not sure if it is or not. Just curious. Just want to double check. Oh no, fourth season. Yeah, there's going to be a fourth season. So yeah, that one's getting a fourth season at least. No, the thing is, like, 5 seasons seems pretty decent, but each season was only like 10 episodes for Lower Decks. I mean, they were short seasons. I just would have loved so much more of that show. Because I do feel like they always, like, there was more they could have. Yeah. I do feel like they had more to stories to tell, and it's a shame they won't get to tell those stories. Um, and yeah, yeah, Strange New Worlds has never been. It's good, but it hasn't really been one of my favorites. We'll see how Starfleet Academy does. I hope that show ends up being good, and I hope we do get more Star Trek. But it would be nice to get more animated Star Trek as well. Just it's nice having a variety of Star Trek shows. We've been spoiled the past few years. I feel like Trek has been spoiled the past few years for just like a variety of different shows. We had Discovery as like the sort of contemporary Star Trek show. Doing using like modern day storytelling techniques and things like that. Picard is the nostalgia show. Lower Decks is the comedy. Prodigy as the family friendly. Strange New Worlds is the throwback. We had a lot of different types of Star Trek shows going on, and quite a few of them have ended. So we've still got Strange New Worlds as the throwback, but everything, all the other Star Trek shows have ended. And we'll get so hopefully Starfleet Academy's good. It'll fill its own new niche. But yeah, we had five, and we're down to two, at least for now. Hopefully we'll get. I do hope we get more. Don't think there's anything else announced. I mean, the movie, but the what's that Section 31 movie is also coming. But anyway, so yeah, Star Trek, Star Trek Lower Decks. Great final season, great series. I am sad to see it go, and I do hope we're gonna get more Star Trek in the future. Also, more queer Star Trek. Fifth season of Lower Decks, it did touch on, it did sort of resolve a bit of an issue regarding the relationship between Mariner and Jennifer. It did sort of have a little bit of talk about that, just them resolving that and agreeing to be friends again. Um, yeah, and Lower Decks was never a series that really spent much time thinking about romance anyway, whether straight or queer. But a lot of the queer stuff has been seemed to be getting toned down, and now is just I hope that we get more queer Star Trek again. I hope Strange New Worlds definitely backed away from it in its second season. I hope that we'll see if Strange New Worlds has anything, and if season three of Strange New Worlds has anything, and I hope Starfleet Academy has some queer shit. Does look like Jet Reno is going to be in that one. Her character's gay, but also widower. But yeah. Anyway, suppose that's about all that needs to be said about it. So I have enjoyed Lower Decks. I will continue to enjoy Star Trek going forward. And so thanks for watching. And peace and long life.